Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night, time for a Beer 30 Sanity session. And with me, that's tough. Sanity is not my thing, and never was, apparently. And what else? It is Friday night. Here's to you, here's to me. Skull. Cheers, pro. Mm. Anyway, I went to the visitor center today and checked out the Spaceport Museum, because the Virgin Galactic stuff is nearby here. I'll post that video in the next couple of days showing you what that was all about and give you a little info about the Spaceport America, which is located near Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. It's about, I don't know, 50 miles away, the physical airport thing, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, what else can I tell you? Chill out, relax, take a deep breath, and thank yourself for still being here, because of all the people that were born in 1850, none of them are here. Ha! And that goes for 1750, 16, you know what I mean? There's more people dead than there are alive. Is that true? I don't know. It sounds pretty good to me. I'd ask old dummy over here, but she doesn't know. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you a quick story, kind of a growing up, maturing story. Hope I can get it right. But anyway, when I graduated from high school, none of my family had ever gone to college. I didn't know poop about going to college. First job I had was running a cotton stripping machine actually I had a cotton stripping crew. Had 5 tractors with cotton strippers, and I was the lead dog. And anyway, did that for, I don't know, well, it was only seasonal. Once you stripped the cotton, you were out of business. So yeah, I think I just did it for 1 or 2 seasons, and then I went to another real winter. I worked on the jug line for a seismograph crew. And if any of you ever know what a jug line is, you got these little seismometers that are about that long and about this thick, and they have a nail looking thing on the bottom, and you press them in the ground, and then there's a little cable that you clip to another cable that runs for a 1/4 mile, and you connect all those cables together, you get a mile or so, and then you have these little holes in the ground, you put some dynamite in, you set the dynamite off, and somehow these seismometers pick up that vibration. It's read on a machine, and this thing prints it out and shows you kind of what's under the ground, and if it looks like oil, they come back later and go looking for it. But anyway, so those were 2 winters. But then I decided I was going to go to college, because I was in near Gonzales, Texas. It was like December. I've told this story before. Freezing my butt off, and me and another guy named Jimmy Smith, he was from Corn City, I was from Kennedy, 5 miles apart. We got to be pretty good friends out there doing the seismograph and stuff. Anyway, he said that in January he was leaving. I said, "Where the hell are you going, man?" He said, "He's going to college." I said, "Are you shitting me?" He said, "No, I'm going to college in Victoria." "Really? You're going to go to college?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How the hell you do that?" He said, "You just go there and ask." Anyway, I won't get into the details, but I will give you this. There was a big building called the Administrative Building. I drove to Victoria, Texas, and told my parents I was going to college or thinking about it. And anyway, I got a what they call a TOP loan, a Texas Opportunity Plan loan. But anyway, and they paid part of the books and tuition and stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to go at all. But anyway, I did. And I had, of course, had some help from the government. But anyway, enough said. Go in the administrative building, huge building. You got to have a big building, or you can't be a college or a university if you don't have a lot of buildings. Hold on, my mouth's getting dry. Here's to you. Anyway, so I go in, there's a receptionist just straight on in, had a little window, kind of like a bank teller, you know what I mean? And I go up there, and she said, "Could I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to go to college." She said, "No." She didn't say it, but I can see it on her face. No shit. Anyway, she said, "Well, you need to go to the registrar's office." Well, she might as well have told me to go to Mars. Registrar? What the crap was that? Yo! Well, anyway, that was the beginning, and it didn't get any better after that. But when I got to the college, I was living with, let's see, there was one, two, I think there was 3 or 4 of us living in this little duplex. It had there was 2 beds in one room, and then there was a couch that made into beds. So there might have been 4 of us living there, splitting rent. And anyway, I had my little blue Mustang at that time, my '65 Mustang, and that was my transportation to and from school. And I did work part time for the school district, stacking boxes and stuff, doing all kind of stuff in the warehouse. So anyway, but I only worked like 20 hours a week, wasn't much. But anyway, on my way to and from the college, or to and from, I drove by this, there was a 4-way stop, and sometimes when I stopped there, there'd be this good looking lady off to the left. I mean, she was muy bueno, you know what I mean? And anyway, you know, I'd honk and wave and all kind of shit. You know, I never thought about her, you know, being married or anything, because I never saw any kids or anything. And so I thought she just lived there by herself. She looked like she was about 25, 28, whatever. Anyway, but she was pretty. And so anyway, over a period of days, weeks, whatever, you know, on my way back, she'd be out hanging up clothes, but she always was dressed, you know, really interestingly, let me say that. And she had a body to go with it. And anyway, so I'd honk and wave and stuff. Well, anyway, one day, get back to the duplex, and I was going in to, you know, change clothes or whatever I was going to do to get ready to go to the warehouse for the school district, go to work, and her car came driving by. She drove this red Ford station wagon, but it drove by, and she honked. I thought, are you kidding me? Are you kidding old dad here? So anyway, jumped in my Mustang and, you know, I'm after her, you know what I mean? So anyway, she pulled into this little Dairy Queen like thing and got out, and there were some places to sit outside. And anyway, I mean, you're talking about a country hick here, man. I still am. But I mean, I didn't know shit, you know, I didn't have any good moves, you know. So I think I went up and said, you want to screw or what? I didn't do that. But I mean, I didn't know what to do. But anyway, she said, she was at the window getting something, and I said, how you doing? She said, fine, fine. And she told me her name. I told her my name. And anyway, she got some ice cream, so I got ice cream. Shit, but I might as well, you know, because I had to hustle over to the warehouse anyway. I was just checking her out. And anyway, so we talked a little while, and I don't know, I don't think I came up with it, but she said, you know, we could meet there again tomorrow, but we'd be earlier, we'd have more time to spend together. Okay, so fine. So anyway, the next day did that. Anyway, so this thing's kind of building up over 2 or 3, 4 days. We're meeting at different places. We were starting to meet in the city park and stuff. And, you know, I'm thinking, hey, this is good stuff. Well, anyway, one day I was fixing to leave for my meetup, and one of the guys that lived in the apartment worked in the oil field. Big old boy named Paul. And he worked with Slumberjay. Anyway, he said, hey, man, where are you going? I said, man, I got to go meet that chick. He said, let me tell you something, Mr. Smart Man. He said, you know who that chick is? I said, I have nothing, I don't know anything about her. I said, no, she's cute, that's all I know. He said, she's married, dude. I said, I never saw a ring on her. He said, let me tell you, man. He said, rings come on and off. And I said, well, she never had one on. And he said, but she is married to the 10th. He worked in the oil patch with her husband. They weren't on the same crew, but they worked for the same company. And he said, when you see her husband, he's a freaking giant. He'll mash you like a gnat. Okay? So anyway, so then I wanted to see this giant, okay? You know, and I did. But I didn't see him right away. Of course, I went to the park, met her, and I said, you know, I guess, you know, I don't know, if this thing's going to work out or what, you know. Actually, I was trying to get out of it without getting killed. And anyway, she said something like she understood or something, and her husband was going to get transferred. Her husband, she said that. Her husband was going to get transferred. I said, well, how come you didn't tell me you were married? She said, well, you never asked. Come on. That's not a good reason, okay? That is not a good reason to get me killed. Well, anyway, a few days later, they did. I drove by one morning. I don't know if I was going or coming, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I saw them loading U-Haul thing, loading the furniture because they were moving, and her husband was carrying a piano in one hand. You understand what I mean? Yo, and a sofa in the other. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rusty, go get him, boy. Sick him, big boy. No, but he was bulked up. You understand? He looked like he was about 7'5" to me, but no, he. Yeah, I got out alive. Yep, I almost didn't make that one. Oh man, she even came in that little duplex a few times. She'd pull up and park and come in if there wasn't anybody there but me. If she just saw my car, yeah. And now wouldn't that have been cute? Me in there in my underwear, and her husband pulls up. Yo, Anyway, yeah, no kidding, man. So that's how you learn not to fool around, dog. Don't fool around. Yeah. I mean, that works both ways. I mean, I was kind of had, but she was cute and all that. And I think what it was, because he worked, different shifts and stuff, and she was, quote, lonely, the old lonely trick. And, yeah, when she was fixing to make me lonely, I was thinking of being a casket. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's kind of the Beer 30 story for today. But yeah, anyway, here's to you, here's to me, skulls, all that stuff. Yeah, thank you, Paul, for telling me. His name was Paul Wernling. I don't know if he's still alive or not, but yeah, he was a big dude himself. Well, you kind of had to be that big to work in a damn oil patch, particularly on what they call, if you were a floor hand, because you were handling stuff that everything was heavy. If they had to go get a tool of some kind, it weighed 150 pounds. You know what I mean? Everything was heavy and bulky and shit. Still is, I guess. But no, man, that was a bad deal there, man. There's so many funny things I could tell you, man. Anyway, I didn't do very well at college. All right, I didn't do very well. No. My first 2 years, I might as well have been fishing in the Guadalupe River, because it was like Disney World for me, man. I'd never been away from home, never. No, and then I got drafted, and that was in a Disney World. But anyway, enough said about that. It is Friday night. It is the time to be sane. But if you want to be sane, don't go messing around with no married women. No. You know what I mean? Say, look, you want to fool around, or you go over and you tell your husband that you're leaving him, and you can file for divorce, and then we'll start checking each other out. Okay? But until that point, I think it's probably legal for them to kill you. You know what I mean? I mean, if you catch, I don't know what the law is. If you catch a man in bed with your wife and you kill him, what is that? Justifiable homicide? Or if a woman catches a man in bed with her husband or whatever, vice versa, and she blows his head off, is that just justifiable homicide? And they get, now don't do that again. Cut that shit out. Yeah, Hell, I won't tell that story. Anyway, enough said. But anyway, guys, it is Friday night. Been a good day. Got some softball videos coming up as usual. And main thing is focus on enjoying your life. Stay out of trouble, and don't try to whip the Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean? You know what it is? What is it? You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim. You know what I mean? Remember that song? Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, you don't, what is it? You don't tug on Superman's cape. I hear you. Don't do it. Anyway, guys, one more time for the old Gipper. Skull, cheers, prost, etc. Enjoy your Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want. Use the Amazon link if you choose to. Drink plenty of beer or water, whatever your choice is. Whatever floats your boat. You do it. You do you, I do me. Easy peasy, right? Anyway, Friday night, again, 52 of those make a year, right? But, yeah, try to stay on the happy side and the sane side, even though the world is probably trying to drive you insane. Try to stay out sane, whatever that is. Adios, amigos, carry on. Stand guard at the door of your mind. The most important, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your life. Bye-bye. And don't date a married woman. Ever.